he even let the song finish.
He mixed that shit like it was a hip hop track.
What the hell is he doing?
That was an aggressive beginning. I like it.
What? Chris Villa, you're not allowed to scratch over house music. It's like one of the biggest sins of house music. What's wrong with you?
Dude, house heads really get upset about that shit, huh?
Classic music shouldn't be ruined with your little itchy, scratchies, ahs, and freshes.
You know what's impressive? A 64 bar blend. That's impressive. I don't want to see no scratching shit over my favorite house joints.
Man.
64 bars, you could go cook something and come back.
Man, have you ever
Just throw it in sync?
Have you ever done a 64 bar mix?
God, I don't think so.
Like you just sitting there. The whole fucking 2 minutes has gone by.
I might take out the bass real quick. I don't know. Let's get freaky with it. That's what the filter's for.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Welcome back to the MikiDz Podcast, episode 55.
5-5.
We wanted to have a little fun with Chris
Single
Villa's amazing house routine for Beat Source, the playlist, the classic house playlist. And, it was funny because someone, you're always going to have these guys. Someone snapped on Chris for scratching house music. And I think we're all in agreement that individual needs to get way the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Because
sit your sucker ass down.
And you know what? I get it if there are DJs that force it and it doesn't sound good, but it's not going to sound better than what Chris is doing and still be funky.
Yeah. Who's dope at scratching over house music? Sprite.
Yeah.
DJ Sprite.
Sprite. I mean, Sprite. There's a good handful of guys that just kill it.
Tell us who else, because you just said Sprite 3 times. I want to know now.
Because I'm thinking as I'm saying it.
I know.
Like, oh man,
so I'm just calling you out.
And Sprite.
Chris Villa.
Oh,
there's a handful of guys.
Chris Roberts. Man, there's also a guy that does video editing for Warner Brothers.
Damn, you put all his government out there.
Wow. Just got to bleep some of that shit out.
He ain't hard to find.
Anyway.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. So shout out to the DJs that get funky over house music. We encourage you. We try our best to do it and get away with it.
Absolutely.
And keep it funky.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, and shout out to the DJs that are keeping it funky on Twitch. I stepped into Rell's Twitch last night.
Listen,
man, why Sean be trying to silence me?
But listen, this is the good thing about
Sean's
it.
the moderator?
Usually when I'm on Twitch, usually when I'm on Twitch, when wifey and I are on Twitch, right? Joe comes in, he'll just check in, like he's saying, he'll normally say this, yo, I got it playing in the background. I'm in the studio or whatever. He don't say any much. He'll just go, yo, just checking in, blah, blah, blah. I'm here, whatever, right? And he'll have it playing in the background doing whatever he does. My man came in hot. He came in hot today on that stream, man. Yeah. He came in hot. I was like, oh, Joe came play today.
I had a few things to say.
He said, I had time today.
But he treated it just like he goes to the club in real life. He popped in and he was like, I'm out. Later.
Exactly. He caused havoc and he's like, all right, I'm ghost.
Right. I had that shit vibing.
Man.
What time
that was a good compliment to whatever Jen was doing, whatever, and then Rell jumped on.
What hour did you show up? Because you clearly went to another club right after.
No, he got in early.
It was like 15 minutes before you hop back on. Yeah, and then Sean silenced me. I was like, oh, it's cool. I'll go back to working on my music. It's cool. I didn't see a word from Sean. Like the 15 minutes I was giving him bars. And then Sean's first thing he says since I stepped in, take the mic from Joe. I'm going to go back to remixing. It's cool.
It's cool.
Oh, man.
I'm back.
We came in there, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, Twitch has been fun, man. I will say that.
Well, I find it interesting because I was listening to our buddies, MIA Radio, Kaz and Zia. Shout out to those guys in Miami, of course. And they gave a breakdown of what they just made on Twitch. And I thought that's really cool. I don't know too much about it. I imagine there's a lot of DJs out there like me that don't know much about it. But Miki, you have a bit of a breakdown on how DJs are getting paid or not. No. Oh, I thought you said you're going to check in with a couple guys.
I tried to check in with them. They weren't giving me much information. I figured we could talk to Rell.
Nah, bro, we ain't selling you the goods or whatever.
I stepped in and I went to the strip club and my homegirl was on stage dancing her ass off. I threw a bunch of ones in there and gifted a bunch of subscribers.
Yeah.
Just to support. And then I wanted to follow Rell and see like, so what does all that mean?
And Rell and I were in the back eating chicken wings and carrots and
no, Rell was on stage.
Yeah, I was,
oh, he's the dancer. Gotcha.
I threw the one.
All right, go get it.
No, to be honest, I just had
to be honest with you, because I recently, when you start on Twitch, you're not allowed. There's certain. What's the word I'm looking for? There's certain levels that you have to get to. Like you have to accomplish certain things before you get some amenities on Twitch, right? Sure. So you get on regardless of what your following is. I mean, the following obviously helps you. Yeah. But as long as if the following is consistent, if you stream for a certain amount of hours, you basically become what they call an affiliate. Once you become an affiliate, then
affiliate or partner? Because I've been seeing partners.
Well, there are two different things.
Okay.
Obviously, the affiliate portion of it is a little easier to get to. Hence, that's how I got there. The partner thing is a whole nother, ball game. You know what I mean? But you become an affiliate, people are allowed to subscribe to your channel. So basically, when someone subscribes to your channel, they pay a small fee. There's tiers, and
$4.99 a month.
Yeah, it's $4.99. You subscribe to that person for the month. Whenever they stream, you get access to whatever emotes they put out. They create for themselves. I don't know all the bells and whistles to it because I'm still like learning it as I go. But when someone subscribes, at least in how it works for myself on Twitch, whenever someone subscribes, that money goes to me.
Yeah. So tell me the funny thing is when one of my random things I was saying last night was, how do the splits work with Twitch between you and Jen?
Oh, yeah,
Is it 50-50, 60-40 Pebbles?
I said 50-50
and that's
in this
when
household.
Sean shut me up.
Yeah, I said 50-50 in this household. I don't play that games. Only because, for those who don't know, when on our Wednesday night stream, my fiance and I both DJ on it.
So I noticed Night Train gifted you 10 of something. What was that all about?
He paid for subscriptions for people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So same thing, Mike came in. Mike came in and did the same thing. He was just like,
yeah.
You're throwing money around?
Yeah.
Well,
that's the one.
That was his analogy.
Welcome to 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. So they came in.
I thought it was just a metaphor showing support.
So for example, right, if you watching my stream, right, and then you see Night Train gifted you, a sub, basically is what they call it. They gifted you a sub. Basically, he gifted you a subscription to my stream. So now you didn't have to pay that $4.99 for the month, right? You got gifted it to it. I got gifted it to a bunch of our fellow DJ friends to their stream.
And he can pick who gets the gift?
No, I think it's randomly.
I think people it's the first people that click to redeem it, or it goes to like the followers that are or the people in the chat.
The people on the chat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
you can assign people to it. Oh, I guess you can assign people. You get to choose people. You can send it to specific people, I guess so. So I mean, Night Train came in there, he was hot, and Mike can come up there and one up everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
he
came. Hey, listen. So at the end of the stream, right? Right at the end of the stream, right? Miki's leaving, and he was like, "All right, guys, I
did a whole departure."
He did a whole nother motherfucking thing. He just subbed everybody again, right? And I was like, "Yo," so. It tells you when you're done streaming on your Twitch, basically it gives you like the whole analyzer. It analyzes like, your followers, your viewers, how many subscribers you got, and that
analytics,
and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So, and they'll tell you like who subbed the most, right? And you see Miki and Night Train's name up there, right? And one of them got beat by one sub. One. Who you think?
Night Train got beat, of course.
Night Train got beat.
Let me tell you, there's like inside theory. I didn't say shit because so Night Train was in there, everybody was in there, and then I gave like all right, I'm checked out. Like this is way past my bedtime at this point.
Yeah, because we went to like 2 a.m.
Yeah, 2 a.m. So then Rell's like, I'm just trying to get here to complete these 4 hours. Was it 4 hours?
5 hours.
Did you throw?
5 hours. So I gifted 22 subs or 21 subs. I have the screenshot.
What's that total like?
$5 a sub, so like 80.
He went in there and spent some money.
Do the math.
Something like
That's nothing. That's
all good. I use the MikiDz Show debit card.
Oh man, come on.
Hey, thank you.
Phenom, re-up on that. Phenom, re-up our card.
I'm kidding. We don't have a debit card yet. But so That's what I told Night Train. I was like, joke's on you. I'm running it up on our tab so you can pay for it. Because that money's coming back somehow.
Yeah, it's recycling.
Anyway, I had a theory on that. So then I did that whole like, oh, good night, everybody. I'm out of here. And then gifted a sub right before I left because me and Night Train were tied at one point. In which Night Train goes, when I tied him, he goes, at like 19, he goes, all right, cool, we're tied. And then I threw one more in there because when we were tied at 19, I still had the silver 2 box. So I was like, no, fuck that shit. Like, I'm gonna get one. So then I hit for 20. So then he goes out and he tips 2 more to one up me. And then so that I play dead, like I'm gone. And then as his outro music,
playing the outro song,
literally is fading down, and I just go.
I was like, damn, these fools are stupid. I was like, man, but
also I could get a screenshot before he logged off.
Yeah, it's dope, man. I think it's dope. You know what I mean? I don't personally, for myself, I don't personally go in there and do it for the money. We appreciate it. Whatever money, we'll probably donate it to some cause or some shit like that or whatever. But I know that there's people on there that are making some real money.
Yeah.
Like some real money on there.
You should call on Night Train. I went to Bella's chat for a second. He had bought 40 subs in that chat.
Yeah, well, I don't have a vagina and breasts, so.
That's that.
We're not.
And I'm not single, so, yeah. I mean,
right.
Yeah, I'm not saying Bella is single. I don't know if she is or not, but I would assume Night Train probably.
Look, man, I'm going to tell you right now, and we can delete this or we can't. Bella has these single DJs wrapped around her
I'm
finger.
trying to tell you, man.
I think that's okay to leave.
Yo.
And I've noticed for a while, like Bella's running, like she's just being herself.
Yeah.
I won't say
these DJs are in her palm.
Man, she got them.
Word to her.
Yo, give Bella her flowers, bro. Like,
I'll say this. There was another DJ who was the top 3 gift of subs in there. I'm not going to name names. They were in there.
Bella's stream?
Yeah.
I got an idea. I won't say
I think I know who it might be.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all on the same page. Scratching over house music, it's cool.
Yep.
We all know who gave the most subs in that chat.
Yep.
Got it. We're on the same page.
You know? See? This is what happens when you do 50-something episodes together.
Yeah,
right.
Chemistry.
Exactly.
So I think another thing that has DJ's attention outside of jumping on Twitch, because I rarely see anybody on IG Live anymore, is production. Or maybe it doesn't have their attention because I don't see as many remixes going up from guys that I know.
Yeah.
I see Fawn. Well, still shout out to Fawn. He'll still post some every once in a while. And the DJ, DJ City pays their guys. So regardless, I think they're gonna post.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to watch the last 4 or 5 months, I should say, because you got people that are investing their time into outlets like Twitch where they see an immediate return. Maybe not a lot. Maybe it's not as lucrative as some, but you're building towards that.
Yeah.
Towards an immediate return. And then there are guys, I guess you quite like myself, who are producing for long-term situations. I'm not getting money from posting on DJ City, from posting my production on DJ City, but I think every remix is a new challenge, and the best way to present or make a part of the challenge is presenting it to DJs, and because there is something different when I started releasing Dainja stuff a few years ago, and I told myself it's not ready yet, but in order for it to be ready, I have to have everybody hear it.
Yeah.
Because I need to feel uncomfortable about a few things from putting myself in their shoes. Mm-hmm. It's one thing if I'm on my side, but it's a whole different feeling when you put yourself in other people's shoes listening to it, right?
Sure.
So when I put out my first Dainja track, and I heard all the mistakes after effect, I was embarrassed and it was a little awkward, but that's a part of the growing process.
Also, it's just not us.
It wasn't just you guys. It was me as well.
I'll be like, man, Joe don't take our criticism. And he'd be like, man, y'all just like to talk shit.
Well, it's a problem when people don't say anything. And shout out to Kid Spin.
In that case.
I got this list I've been keeping.
Oh shit! I got this note.
I wrote it just in case the internet would fail.
I knew this day would come.
So I mean, I know I started asking one question, but I want to transitioning over to Kid Spin, who shout out to him because when he started to see me get more serious with my production, he called me into DJ City a few years ago and was like, look, you got to put your kick in mono, you have it in stereo, and just a few other things that I didn't know much about. And when you think about that, little thing like that can make you feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Right? So I made all the adjustments and I'm continuing to make adjustments. So shout out to guys like him who, want you to succeed.
Yeah, he took the time to give you some feedback, some constructive criticism.
Yeah, and he didn't have, it's not his job to give feedback. He either posts a track or he doesn't. So, he did me a few solids outside of posting the tracks. But back to my original point, what are your guys' thoughts on the guys that are working on production for the long term as opposed to not, seeing the immediate results of something like Twitch?
Well, when you say long term, are you just talking about like the style or like the kind of record? Because you in particular have been working on more nostalgic eras of music versus what's current, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, and you can answer this better, but is it because, at least for you, is it because you feel like there's no real like long lasting club records that are coming out now and it might not be the right time for that? Or is it just because you want it to live longer?
This is what I think, and you can just say you can take it as me just talking about myself, or this may speak for you. In this business, my music in my head, and again, it's not fair to limit myself to this, but in my head, my music won't go anywhere outside of DJ City and a handful of DJs until I have relationships in that world, in the industry, right? So, for example, agents, labels, right?
Agents, right?
Agents,
okay,
not Asians. Asians.
K-pop is cracking.
K-pop, yeah. So again, labels, people that work for labels connected to them, because they can see what you're doing and say, we see potential in that. Or they're just like, you're a really good dude. You got a decent look about you. We can do something with you.
Use your assets.
Yeah. And I know it's not all that easy, but I feel like that doesn't mean that all these guys that have made it weren't working hard before that.
Yeah.
But you can there's like very, very small percentage of guys that are actually dope that make it, that somehow catch the ear of Skrillex or Duda or all these people that are giants in the game. Very, very, it's probably not even 1%, right? So in my head, to answer your question, is I'm doing it to just strengthen everything. So when that time comes, when I do have those relationships and I say, yeah, I also produce, and they listen, they're going to hopefully say, holy shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Taylor Jamin, who's actually been helping me with all my up-tempo stuff that's been coming out the last 2-3 months. He's been every night in his studio working on his craft, and he was in position to be a booker over at forgot the name of the club, but it's in Orange County, Legacy. And because he's a booker, he has a lot of relationships with everybody, especially the labels and the EDM, the agents. So he built his relationships, and even before that, and he's a dope producer, and now he's in that position for them to say, hey, we like you. You're a cool dude. You've helped us out. We see potential in you above all. We want to do something with you. And he's on his way right now. Like, he's signing with the right people and getting his music out to the right outlets. So yeah, to answer your question in long, it's about building. Now, for me personally, I'd rather put more time into building that, my skills, as opposed to, doing stuff on Twitch. Even though Twitch can only take up to an hour of your day, but
I'm sure there's more to it, that you invest into the energy of marketing, being there and like setting up and whatever else. But Okay, I get what you're saying.
And also, I think a lot of DJs might be discouraged to not put out production right now because no one's playing anything in a club.
But I think the complete opposite, though. I think this is the perfect time for you to put out production because so many people are streaming. We have a whole new audience of people that are coming to these streaming platforms than would be in a club or listening to the radio or something, or some sort of like that, right?
Yeah.
So this is a perfect opportunity for you cats that are, producing, making remixes and shit like that to get your shit. If you're not getting it on DJ City, because that's the best record pool in the country, in the world.
Of course.
If you're not getting it to the record pools, get it to the DJs themselves. If you're watching streams, you checking out streams. Yeah, you're not streaming yourself, but you check out other DJ streams. You know what they're playing. You know what I'm saying? For example, if you know the type of the type of production that you're making fits in this DJ's catalog and what they normally would stream, or they would stream once in a while, depending on the type of vibe that they're trying to provide, shoot it over to them. Yo, man, made this new remix. Hope you enjoy it or whatever. Let me know what you think. Yeah. Whatever the thing is, just slide it over to them. Yo, I think this is dope. I'm gonna play it on my stream.
Yeah,
okay.
You actually want to know something crazy, or this might just sound crazy. When I think about my production now, I think that just hit me a week or two ago. I'm thinking, I'm not thinking about the drop per se for the club. I'm thinking, what would sound dope stream? What would sound dope in a chat room? What would sound dope on Twitch, Instagram Live? What kind of vibe can I help the DJ set? Because even if I do play a song that, that can last forever, like you were mentioning earlier, I just don't know if they're going to play that in a year from now when clubs open back up.
And your sound might change too.
Yeah, and the sound might change. So what can I do for DJs to improve their sets, or give them something that makes it feel like, or that gives a reaction of, where'd you get this from?
Yeah,
is this some underground shit?
Exactly.
Like, did you get this off of whatever site, random site?
You get this off of SoundCloud or whatever.
SoundCloud, or what's the other one?
I can't Shazam this, but what is this?
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the question that I think as a producer you would want if a DJ is playing your track in a stream. You know what I'm saying? And just being like, yo, what track is this? Whose remix is this? Or, yo, that shit is dope. Blah, blah, blah. That's what you want. You know
I think you're downplaying to your network because, like, and obviously saying this as your peer, as your friend, like, I think that the comment about, like, the connections and the network for the label side, or, like, getting it out there to whatever level, or somebody who's going to sign you, like, you don't have to wait for that shit. Like, you quickly, based on your network position in the podcast, affiliation to DJ City, can easily say, yo, DJ, send me your emails. Start with that. That starts the initial seed of your network that can only grow. And once you send it off to those guys, specifically because everybody's streaming, there's no pressure for your record to be danceable.
Yeah, exactly.
If it just sounds straight, which is it makes any DJ take a risk. I mean, I've seen dudes play the theme song to whatever, right? Like Seinfeld, and blend it into something else, or the State Farmers Insurance. Shout out to DJ Rell. And go into Jesus Walks. Like, you could literally play whatever because it's not serious,
Yeah.
Shout out to Four Color Zach, playing songs about beans. Like,
exactly, man, he's like, taking over that bean shit.
Yeah, the beans thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got some material with this Goya.
He fucking what you call it?
I had beans for
Zach Fox.
Fox, yeah, man. I had always playing that shit.
I had beans for breakfast. I couldn't think of Zach about
you ever think about this as a producer, as someone that's producing tracks and not streaming? Do you ever think about going on stream and incorporating some of your remixes in that? You know what I'm saying? Because you have a following, you as DJ Dainjazone, you know what I'm saying? Or DJs out there as well who are, like you said, focusing more on production for the long-term benefits, right? But trying to utilize what they have at their hands right now, with the streaming being such at a high platform. Yeah. Like, fuck it, yo, I've been producing these tracks. I'm putting them on DJ City. They're out there for people to reach. Fuck, why not jump on the stream, maybe play what you call it?
That's a really good question. I haven't thought about that, but off rip, I'm thinking by the end of the year. I've always thought it'd be cool, like last year when I was remixing whatever, I thought it'd be cool to just put a mix out at the end of the year of all my remixes.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care for my production last year. I think I was still figuring things out. But this year I have the best grip on it that I've ever had. So yeah, it would be cool to.
It's too easy.
Okay, guys, come on. We're mature.
I like that Rell looked at me.
It's always you two.
It's always us. We're the only ones here. Sorry, Sean. Indirect eye contact.
I mean,
But yeah, no, maybe at the end of the year that could be dope to just do something like that. But I think what also, not that I'm gonna wait for this, but I think once you build that following of your remixes, like some of these guys they have legit followings and all they do is remix. I think building up that following is important. And then not only building up that following, but just building up the following of people that actually believe in you as a whole, as a product, and then saying, okay, I'm gonna display it all.
Yeah. But how are you building your following besides posting your tracks up on DJ City? Because now I think you're limiting yourself to just DJs. I mean, granted, you want DJs to have it, but think about the music connoisseurs who aren't DJs. You know what I mean? The people, the A&Rs that are probably, are you posting? I don't know. I'm asking, hypothetically. Like, is it your stuff being posted on SoundCloud? Like, people. It's on
Spotify.
Oh, okay.
I don't blast it, and I got this whole thing where I don't do any artwork. I just find old pictures of myself and just post the pictures and call it a day.
Did you post the Tiger one yet?
No.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I don't know how I feel about that Tiger one because no, I don't, because in that moment, I'm thinking, is this fucking tiger drugged up? And I feel
exotic.
I'm thinking, like, did they shoot this tiger up? Because this motherfucker should be mauling me. But the guy who was an American, this was in Thailand. Yeah. The guy who's an American was like, no, we don't do that to our tigers. They're raised here. They're born and raised here.
Yeah, so
they're trained.
That's their atmosphere.
We do have tigers out in the back that you can go see, but you have to be like 50 feet away from them, and they will fucking rip your head off. Yeah. But yeah, so my tracks are on Spotify. I do want to get them on Bandcamp.
Okay. And
leave them as remixes because apparently everyone's getting away with that and making a little bit of dough off that. So that might be something for the future as well. And unfortunately, some of those tracks can't get posted on DJ City because of Sony.
But it feels like if you gotta, like, if you let it, if you put it on Spotify only, it feels like that's not enough.
It's not
today because that's not a platform you go to discover. Yeah. With all due respect, unless you end up on a playlist. Yeah. You're not going to get discovered on there. SoundCloud, people are still digging on SoundCloud. Absolutely. That's like a thing. Yeah. Like people dig on Bandcamp. That's a thing, and even if you put them up for free or something low, right? Like you might still, or even if you put them up for, I don't know, 50 cents or I don't know what the requirements are. Yeah. But that's still probably more than you're going to get from Spotify when it's all said and done.
Yeah, when it goes up, I'm not expecting anything from Spotify. Like, at this point, it's just a place to exist. So if someone does, if I do have someone's attention, I can say, well, just go to there. Whether it's a label made or a label per individual or just a random.
But I really think you should formalize your structure of your network and send it to people, because especially people that are streaming specifically, because we know, like, in a funny way, like there's been a Twitch community that's kind of been happening within the DJ community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think when you think about it, and I know we just talked about Bella in a jokingly fashion, but in a serious fashion, she's doing an amazing job. She's got a lot of people in there. And then recently, I mean, she even had Z-Trip in there, just having a conversation with her. And I mean, who knows who's listening to everybody else's sets?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you may give it to Rell and you know, I don't know, DJ Bad's in there listening to that. DJ Bad plays it, and then some other, you know, Dre Sinatra heard it on there. He wants to play on his. Yeah. And so that web that happens, right? Just because you may not have access to, like, the guy you would want to play on the stream, quote unquote, for the exposure, like, it can start right the person next to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent it to the guy next to me.
I mean, perfect example, you know, we got Dupree's album coming out, and Rell played, you know, the upcoming songs on the stream last night. You know, it may be a lot of the same people that we know, but then there's the people that we don't know. Maybe the handful of them that might be like, oh, damn, I need to download this when it comes out. You know?
But even the people that we do know, you know what I'm saying, if they fucks with it, then they're like, yo, this is dope, and they share it with the, you know what I mean? Right. It's the whole, you know.
It's about using the platform, right?
Yeah. That's why I asked you if you ever thought about playing your remixes on Twitch, because that's a good way to build your following.
I got like 11 remixes now, so I think I'm
not saying you're not. Oh, I'm only going to play my remixes, but you know,
it only has to be my remixes, Rell. Come here.
Hey, fuck it.
Throw some subs my way.
It's like 34 minutes.
That's cool. You know, make a couple more and you do a little hour set and just
by the end of the year, I'll have enough for a couple mixes.
Just write it out to the outro. 64 bars.
There you go. Let's go.
64 bar mix.
Extended. You got it, Joe.
Let's go.
You should just live stream on OnlyFans.
All my remixes. But I mentioned Sony earlier, and you know, there's been a bit of an uproar. DJs in an uproar. Record pools in particular. Not happy with it, but you know what we can say, and all we're gonna say in regards to DJ City is we have our own situation with them.
Yep.
And that's that.
Well, every record pool has their own relationship with the label, and
with all the labels,
lack thereof,
or other labels, and and I mean, look, DJ City is the #1 record pool in the world, and that's
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's also part of some of the shit getting booted off by Kidspin. I sent him my Shake Pitbull remix, and he said, "No, can't post it."
But now that's even more of a reason.
So I sent him the original. I just took out the Pitbull part in the Yin Yang Twin.
I think that's even more of a reason for what Miki was saying. You know, getting it to the DJs and
DJ,
getting it to the DJs, getting it on Bandcamp, getting it on SoundCloud. You know what I mean? Obviously, platforms that you'll be able to for the time being, because even SoundCloud is kind of iffy about certain things. So
true.
You know what I mean? But
very well said.
So, have you guys noticed a shift in the DJ energy from the first 2 months of COVID and more recently, the last 2 months, not counting February? Because I feel like in March, DJs are like, all right, well, we got to do live stream. We got to post. Like DJs were just gung-ho, posting a lot, doing what they can to just get through what was supposed to be a few months, right?
Yeah.
And now that we're back to being quarantined and everything's locked down again for the most part, I feel like the wind's been taken out of the DJ's sails. I mean, you guys noticed a shift in that, and if there's anything that you
I think that can come from the fact that, you know, a lot of these states, a lot of these cities were premature about opening it up. So people saw DJ saw a little bit of a light, and they thought that we were in the clear. Shit was going to start, you know, climbing back to normal, or what the normal was, and then you got slapped in the face, and it was like, no, go back in the house.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, all right, cool. So I can expect why the energy would change. Do
you think the DJs are burned out though?
When you say burned out, like burned out on streaming, or just
burned out from exhausting their creative because they don't have original club picks to post. They don't have a lot of things they're used to doing.
I believe it's possible. I think it's highly possible.
It's not just the DJ though. Like, think about like the influencer person who's like used to traveling or being at Catch or hiking Runyon, like all the fucking cliche LA things that
I still never been to
people
Runyon, by the way.
Move to Los Angeles for, and that we could care less about. Like, they're struggling to put out their own content, right? There's only so many pajama outfits you can wear around the house, and TikTok dances you can do. So that's one point. And then there's the DJ who, like, at the end of the day, I think this moment really like made or broke you, right? Either you adapt or you don't. And then it seems like streaming has been one way to adapt. Finding a completely new job is the other way to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be part of the answer, no judgment.
Yeah.
And then, and then sometimes it pushes you into new ventures and new avenues and just being able to like do something different. So
does it even matter to post right now?
I don't think it does. To be honest with you, I don't really think it does, because what are you posting about right now? Like,
coming from someone that used to post once a day to stay active, I haven't posted in like a week, or I've gone a week or two without posting something. I don't feel the pressure to.
Yeah, I don't feel pressure.
Yeah, I don't think I'm missing any potential 2021 gigs. Or
because you're not posting.
Because I'm not posting.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's exhausting when you have to struggle to do something. If I have to struggle to be creative, that's exhausting. I need to take a step back and just observe and just, restructure myself. But yeah, I don't think we need to post right now. If you want a throwback Thursday picture,
sure,
cool.
Here you go.
Do that. Thankfully, we post this podcast every week, so we have that. But I don't think it's necessary Because what are you gonna like? I'm just trying to map out why DJs will be concerned, or why anybody, influencers, why would you be concerned for not posting? You think DJs are going to forget about you?
I mean, obviously, unless you're getting paid for it, then you got to post. But other than that, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like,
I think it's just a hard time to like want to even put out content when we're not content with the climate of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he pulled up from the logo on that one. Huh?
Yeah. Hey man, like let's be honest. Like when you're scrolling through and you're reminded that Breonna Taylor's like killers haven't been arrested, like how the fuck do you want to go down your camera roll? How do you want to go through your camera roll and say, I'm going to go post this fucking influential thing or brag about these new Jordan Dior's I got? Like, it's not like in a public level. Like, how the fuck do I throw that on my timeline?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't feel
authentic.
It feels like you're reaching. It feels like you're trying to get attention. And at that point, it's like, who cares? Like,
I feel like if you are posting, you are trying to get attention at this point, because it's like, I just think a lot of people in general, not just DJs, we're just losing inspiration. You know, piggybacking off what Miki says, like, we don't have nowhere to go. So how do you stay motivated? How do you stay inspired? You know, we could suggest reading books and doing all that shit, but you don't. I can imagine for someone who reads books or listens to audio books or whatever, you like to change up your scenery or where you read books or whatever. Like, you're not gonna always read it in your bedroom or in the studio or, you know, listening to audio books in the whip or some shit like that. At some point, you're just gonna be like I'm drained. Like, this shit is like, I gotta get some fresh new, you know, put myself in a different environment, whatever it is, for you to really get that inspiration and, you know, continue to want to create and be creative. So.
Yeah, I mean, just to wrap this up, I don't, DJs, if you feel like you have to do X, Y, and Z because that's what you're conditioned to doing, you don't have to do that shit if it's going to drive you crazy. If you're reaching, you're stretching, searching for stuff to stay relevant, because none of us are relevant.
None of us are relevant.
I mean, if you're on Twitch and IG Live, you got some stuff to post. That's really cool. And so I don't know if you guys aren't doing that. Maybe you should get on Twitch and.
No, big ups to them. I mean, again,
for sure.
Like the momentum that they've created, the momentum that's there for that category. Big ups to you guys for jumping on.
Yeah, man.
Twitch and streaming.
I mean, to be honest with you, we do it because we just miss DJing, man. Like DJing for people.
Yeah.
Like we can practice all day in our fucking, you know, studio or whatever, but just DJing for people and seeing people comment in the chats like, yo, this song is dope, or we loving the vibes, or blah, 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 whatever. Like, that's refreshing. That's dope. We love that. I don't give a shit. We had, 30 people max in there, 35 people max in there last night. So but that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Just to have that amount of people in there still just showing love, and you know what I mean? Like that's where they're like, all right, that's where I'm getting my inspiration from. You know what I mean? Like, that will inspire me to continue to be creative and not just be like, man, fuck DJing. Because I definitely walked away from that shit for like a week or two. And I was just like, man, fuck this shit. I'm going to get this money.
Yep.
There you go.
I mean, realistically, it's creating opportunities for the future for DJs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you never know what can happen with the streaming thing, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Side note, because we talked about this on past podcasts, right?
Sure.
Episodes. Wifey just got offered to do one of her residencies. She got offered to do a streaming gig. Listen, we're going to stream you in. You know what I'm saying?
Twitch, Zoom, Twitch?
Probably going to do it on Twitch. But she got offered, and we talked about that all the time. Like, that might be the new the future of like DJing for, you know, these smaller spots that may have DJs in there regularly, but now they're not allowed to have live music. They have an outdoor seating area, so they're still allowed to dine in, sort of say. Set up a nice little screen and still give it that, try to do as best as they can to still give it that like nightlife feel.
Right.
So.
Are you guys experiencing FOMO when you see DJs posting pool parties and actually out DJing? There's only a few of them.
Looks like Corona.
But they're outdoors though, Sean.
Looks like Corona.
They're fine. They got masks.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I would be lying to say I don't have FOMO. Like, it's just like, man, I want to be outside. You know, we've been in this shit for what? How many months now? Almost 5 months.
March, 4 months.
4 months. 4 months going on 5. Like it's summertime now. It's fucking hot. I want to be outside.
I mean, big up to those guys that are getting work, but with everything going on, I do not miss it.
Nah, yeah. I'm chilling on that shit though.
I'd rather just go outside, grill some fucking food, and hang it with my peoples and just
100%.
Some glizzies.
No more than 10 people.
Glizzies.
9 to 10 people.
6 feet apart.
That's good.
You know what else I don't miss? I'm gonna be fully transparent here, and what I don't miss about it, and I got really good towards the end, and by the end I mean before Corona.
Comp dinners.
I don't miss
shit.
How can I put this? I don't miss.
How can I put this?
I want to say the challenge, and I want to use the right words. I don't miss the challenge of
getting into the clubs.
Mm-hmm. No. I don't miss the challenge of having to get booked.
You
know what I mean? Like, but when I say I got better at it, meaning I learned to just accept it's not for me, whatever the opportunity is. And I was solidified with Big Night Entertainment and things were going well with Tao and all that. So like to some degree, so I was fine. I had a good thing at Dare, and there were plenty, in my mind, plenty of opportunities on the horizon, but I don't miss looking at someone on a flyer and to a small degree thinking, I love to do that gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of DJs that can relate to that. I mean, sure, I'd rather have the opportunity to possibly get that gig right now, but I don't miss that struggle or that challenge of staying booked.
Yeah.
When it's your own, because that's the only thing, I'm getting paid off of. So, I definitely don't miss that.
I would have been, to follow up that, this week, this is the only gig I actually did wish I had. Mm-hmm. That unfortunately won't happen, but I would have been headlining Town Vegas this Friday, following this podcast. And I was like, damn, when there's been a couple that you've seen on the calendar and you get the reminder.
Yeah. And you're like, shit, I was ready for this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I this one was booked out so far in advance that I was like, I didn't even think about it. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's July.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then somebody said that today, and then they were like, yo, how many years are you with Back Park? And I said, it's going to be 5 in August. Thinking August is
August is next month.
August is fucking 4 weeks away. Excuse my language. I'm like, yo.
Less than 4 weeks away.
I was like, what the heck? It's August.
Yeah.
We've had enough of August this year.
Yeah, man. Listen here.
A lot of August.
Wifey's birthday's in August. I can't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't talking about the month.
Well, we know.
No offense to you.
We know we want to talk about the month.
Let's get into it.
It's not this type of podcast.
Let's get into it. What are you guys' thoughts on August and Jada?
Oh God,
man! Listen, I ain't mad at them. Fuck it, yo. I mean, listen, I'm all for it. You got an open relationship if that's what you and your significant other.
You think it's her fault or August's fault?
It's his bitch ass fault. You're like, come on, August. Yeah, keep your mouth fucking closed. You know he signed the NDA and he opened his mouth.
No,
you fucking dumbass. Come on, man. You had something good and you fucked it up.
You'd be okay with having sex and signing an NDA?
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Okay, Sean, relax.
If Jordan Woods was like, sign this paper, no problem.
You got a fresh pen?
Yeah.
So
you got a quill?
Can I keep the pen?
You got a quill?
So Erica doesn't listen to it.
I got some ink.
Tap the pen.
Declaration of Independence on it.
You tap the pen on your tongue.
I didn't know Sean had that kind of calligraphy.
You see my man penning and shit?
Real artist.
All right, so we know where he stands.
Yes, I'm completely fine signing.
Well, what's the worst that happens though when you break the NDA?
I mean,
you can get sued for defamation.
Yeah.
It depends on the lawyer. I mean, clearly.
But has anybody I hear about this Trump's getting there's all these things being broken, but what's happening to these people? I don't hear about anything happening to these people.
Well, technically, if there's a settlement involved, then you have to pay back that money.
Yeah, there's somebody that.
Yeah.
There's usually somebody who's telling you to break the NDA, and then they'll be like, "I'll cover that." So there's a good chance that he understood the repercussions for breaking the NDA, and somebody
His
TMZ.
I think, I mean, honestly, I think
they're like, we would make so much money from
I think he used it as a rollout for his album.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think
for sure a rollout. Yeah.
He definitely used it.
Although everybody's saying there's no album. Like they're trying to like really make it clear that he just did that out of like.
But there's a 27 song album.
Yeah, it's got 27 songs on it, and he ain't put music out in what, 2 years, if not longer.
Yeah, it's nasty.
I mean, so it's just a coincidence. So he's just gonna assume it's just a coincidence that he put a project out at the same time this whole like thing came out with him and Jada. Like that's just a coincidence. We're just gonna say that.
All right.
Yeah.
Every song's about Jada at this point.
Absolutely. That's what I said. Like, listen, I can't listen to it without thinking.
What I said is he played himself because she did the Red Table Talk and he did an interview. So why are people gonna listen to the album? Both interviews did numbers. His did like 10 million.
The one he did with Angela Lee, right?
And then the Red Table.
You know why else this doesn't help him? Because no one's booking artists. No one's booking anybody right now.
You're not doing anything. Yeah.
So if you do something like this, you would get booked out to clubs and be like, I just heard what this guy did. I want it. Not that it's like this simple, but to some degree, yeah. You know, when you do something crazy like that, people want to see you.
I don't know if I want that toxic shit in my club. Like, you keep that shit over there. I don't know who Will got the goons following you or anything like that.
You kidding me? Nah. After that, he would have been all over a Playhouse flyer. Big ol' August Alsina face just like...
Damn!
He would have been all over that bitch. R.I.P. Playhouse.
What an asshole.
Man. Dirtbag.
Playhouse would have been in on that for sure.
On August, I'll see that. Yeah.
For sure.
All right.
Album release.
I won't fight that.
Yeah.
Was there an AJ None But a Number remix on there? Or?
Wow.
Was that too soon?
Oh, okay.
Stupid, bro.
Okay. No? Okay. All right. Next topic, please.
Okay. So we don't have all the information on what's going on with Red Bull. We just know that a couple of them, I think it was an American CEO and the CMO.
Got fired.
Yep.
Because there was notes passed around about a lack of Black Lives Matter interest from Red Bull, and Red Bull is from Austria. And what rumor is they got fired because of that. So okay, fine. But what has me at a cross is Red Bull fired someone for displaying racial slurs and in a presentation. I don't remember if this individual is from Austria or another country, but they got fired for doing that. So it's just weird because Red Bull's always had like people have nothing but great things to say in this industry about Red Bull.
Yeah,
they had the Red Bull Music Academy. They've always been is what appears to be for the culture.
The programs, the funding, clearly in our world, the Red Bull 3 style is probably arguably one of the most impactful competitions ever.
Yeah.
Right, in the DJ community. No disrespect to
DMCs. It's definitely shed a light on very talented DJs that just maybe not have the relationship.
What was the evolution? I don't think we've ever seen money behind something like that, the way they did it. And so I think this specific situation, which again, like,
we don't know all the details.
Ideas weren't aligned. We don't know the details. It's just public information that we thought we should share because ultimately, we've had nothing but positive experiences with the company itself.
Yeah.
They've done nothing but, work closely with talented individuals on their side and DJ City's side, BeatSource side. So it just became interesting that, there would be such a situation at a different level, right, than the one that we've been exposed to. And, it's just always good to bring that conversation because I think that's where the world is shifting, Everybody has a voice.
Yeah, a story comes to mind when I think of 3 Style. I think when they were in the second or third year, they had the U.S. finals and then they had a DJ play after. And this is a well-known DJ, but nobody cared to hear this DJ's quote-unquote club set because I think it was more of a club set than anything else. It wasn't like a showcase set, which is what that crowd would want to see.
Yeah.
And Red Bull got bashed for the lack of talent after the competition. And I forgot the guy's name. I actually used to know him.
No, you didn't.
He his response to all these DJs lashing out was, thank you for your feedback. We're going to do our best moving forward and, probably not do that again.
Yeah.
So they were responsive to listening to the people and making the Red Bull product or the 3-Style product as best as it can be.
Yeah.
And I think over time it evolved and it got better, and you really didn't have anything bad to say about Red Bull unless it just wasn't your taste, your style, or interest in DJing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, we don't even know if 3-Style is going to come back with where we are with the pandemic and their cutbacks. They shut their studios down in 2019.
I can't imagine even if they did decide that they wanted to bring it back. I don't think a lot of DJs would want to participate if what they're saying, these rumors or these allegations, are true. I don't think they would just want to be involved with that. So I can just only imagine.
Yeah, it can be tricky if they do come back. One thing I wanted to ask you and Sean.
Why them?
Because
you'll see why. You'll see why, Mike. So Gilly and Joe Budden had a disagreement on the whole Black Lives Matter thing. I don't know shit about Gilly. I know he has his own podcast with Barstool.
Yeah.
And
him and Maul got into it.
Well, Joe and Maul got into a disagreement. But so Gilly's basically saying, fuck Black Lives Matter because we are killing ourselves. We need to focus on not killing ourselves.
But
and
that
Joe,
was an old clip too, so let's just.
It's an old clip, right? Yeah. So that was like 2016, and then it resurfaced because of everything going on. Mm-hmm. And Joe's saying, no, you shouldn't be focused on that. You should be focused on Black Lives Matter and bringing justice.
Your argument to Black Lives Matter should never be black on black crime.
Exactly, and I agree with that. I agree with Joe Budden said. Like, your response shouldn't be we need to worry about our own people. I definitely think that it needs to be a different conversation, but I don't think that that's the response you give when you talk about when someone says Black Lives Matter, and you should be like, well, black people need to worry about. Black people need to know that Black Lives Matter before we can worry about any
It's taking the focus off. That's like it's like Donald Trump saying, "Well, white people are getting killed by cops too." So.
And I'm like, it's almost saying all lives matter when you say that. When you say black, you understand that you're basically saying all lives matter. And I'm like, no, we're not saying that. You know what I'm saying? You just have to acknowledge that. So I agree with when I was listening to the conversation, because I was really agreeing with what Maul was saying. Right, and Maul was going on about how if we want change from other people, we have to show that same change in our own community before we can expect it from anyone else. Mm-hmm. And I agree with him 100%. I didn't agree with what Sean and I were just saying, that that's not the response to Black Lives Matter. That's a whole different conversation, and that conversation does need to happen. But it's not a response to Black Lives Matter at all. 100%. You know what I'm saying? The Black Lives Matter is a whole different situation that needs to be addressed than the situation within our own community that also needs to be addressed. But it's a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Rell actually came across something pretty interesting on Instagram. If you want to share,
which one?
The boy that hustled.
Oh, yo. So I don't know if you guys seen this. I literally just saw this as we were coming up right before we came over here for this shit. This black kid, this young kid, I want to say he was 11, 12. I could be wrong on the age, so please don't quote me on that. He sold passes to his white friends to say the N-word.
Oh my God.
React.
Entrepreneur.
Exactly. That was my first thought. My first thought was like, yo,
man
that's
has a vision.
I was like, wait, I got questions though. I said, first of all, how long do these passes last?
It's an expiration.
Yeah, right.
Because we should be
a voucher.
This should be a subscription service.
Yeah, I didn't get the full details of like how that all works. And
there has to be small print saying I am not responsible for what happens beyond our friendship.
Exactly.
If you go and say this at a Jack in a Box and I'm not around, you are on your own.
Don't show them this card either.
Hello,
they're gonna rip it up and then you gotta pay for another one because I ain't gonna give you another.
But
one.
they said the kid made like $1,000, $1,200 $100 or some shit like that,
Rich
man.
ass white kids.
Like, man, listen. Yo, I'm not mad at him. He was like, yo, fuck it. Y'all want to say it so bad? Listen, I'm going to monetize this bitch.
Darwinism.
Listen, let's go.
Exactly.
My man is... Yo.
Man. Yo,
He must have a lot of white friends. $1,000?
I mean, again,
What was he charging?
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying.
What's the rate?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe per voucher, they might have.
Man, you know how many subscribers I gave last night? I got the pass.
Listen,
I paid for my pass. I paid for my pass this month.
I need to get subbed in.
Yo.
the fact that the kid thought about this and nobody else thought about this shit, and I'm like, man, why didn't I think about that shit? I know tons of white people. What? All these bar mitzvahs? I would have made a fucking killing, bro.
Yo.
Oh my God.
Not only the idea, because you can have a grown up tell him, hey, it'd be funny and lucrative. Go sell these passes to these little white kids. The fact that he actually did it was just like, all right, Joshua, here you go. And use it wisely. Because
I just imagine Rell at a bar mitzvah telling some little white kid, like, yo, pay me $100, I'll let you sing Freaky Friday.
Yeah. To the top of your lungs. What? Them kids don't give a fuck. They sing that shit. They don't care. But anyways.
Now, what happens if their pass ends at 11:59 p.m. and at 12 a.m. they drop the N-word? What does the black kid do to the white kid?
He has the legal right.
It's a free to pass. So now it's a pass to get your ass whooped.
Yeah, exactly. You get to get punched in the fucking throat.
Fast pass to getting an ass whooping.
Exactly.
Single rider.
Cinderella. Your time's up, bitch.
I thought that was a great story. I thought it was interesting. And I was just like, man, yo, listen, what a time to be alive, man. We out here hustling the N-word, man. Damn, I'm just mad I didn't think about it first.
Right.
Good for him.
Can you imagine Rell at his age right now selling it to little white kids, selling the pass to little white kids?
But I think that's why. But see, that would be weird.
You can sell it to white rich kids in Hollywood.
I think that would be weird. A grown man selling it to kids.
Yeah,
a kid weird. Selling it to another kid is kind of like
it's R. Kelly vibes.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hey, little kid, if you give me $100, I'll let you say the N-word for a week.
Yeah.
Word? Yeah. But listen, you can only say it when I'm around. Well, when's the next time I'm going to see you? I don't fucking know, little nigga.
Okay, what if, okay, let's say you have a group of black friends with you as a kid.
Okay.
Right, you're 11 years old, you got a group of black friends with you, and you tell this white kid who's just dying to say it, because all his favorite rappers say it, and he says, and the deal is you can say it around all of us. And he's like, cool, I'll pay you 100. Now, what if your black friends say, I want a cut of that? Because
I'm breaking him off.
I'm gonna whoop his ass if I ever hear him say it. But if I'm involved in the deal, I want to be involved in the deal.
No, listen, for 100, you get the one black guy.
You get the one black guy.
For upgrade premium,
okay.
you can get a collection of.
It's almost like title.
Okay.
Listen, you can get the cool shit for $10.99, or we can give you the advanced, sounding audio shit for X amount of dollars. It's pretty much.
We're walking
like
on eggshells, guys. I think
that's cool. We got Rell. I paid my subscription.
And Sean.
And then Sean. Yeah,
another keeping the real version. They take the money and still whoop his ass.
Yeah.
And keeping it real goes wrong.
Oh man, listen, man, we need to write this shit down. Listen, that's Listen here.
All right, before we get out of here,
MikiDz is looking for an animator. We need this drawn out
ASAP. Oh man.
Hey man, look what the pandemic's done to us.
How many episodes we got left?
When is our renegotiation?
Phenom did ask for our numbers.
Oh man.
Shit.
When's our contract up?
About to be soon after this episode.
What if they try and fire us and we say, Phenom, we'll give you a deal on the pass, right? Sean and Rell will give you a deal.
Man, listen here.
Rell and Sean got something to sell you on.
Y'all good, man. They can't. No one is firing black people right now. I mean, outside of Nick Cannon, but
just don't talk about Jewish people. You're good.
Yeah, as long as you don't say no dumb shit, you good. No one is firing black people, man. Me and Sean show up to work late every fucking day. They threaten.
Sean showed us late today.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man,
that wasn't my fault.
He had a vacation last week and he shows up late.
Oh man.
He's sending a message.
For the sake of a healthy relationship,
Yeah,
you gotta take the blame.
Yeah, Mickey knows now, boy.
You getting it.
You better watch it.
Mickey's like, I got a girlfriend now. I get it.
I don't even gotta say nothing.
Sean gonna text us in the group chat. I can't make it this week. I'm on probation for what I said on the podcast.
Overstood.
All right, well, we'll talk about TikTok and IG Reels next week. Versus IG Reels.
Teaser.
Let's talk about different verses. DMX versus Snoop.
Ooh, man.
The only thing I'm asking is that DMX is coherent.
Get at me, dog.
He's there. My main concern with these battles is these guys don't know how to pick their own songs, which is crazy because what we think should be the best songs.
I don't think it's more so about them picking their own songs. I think they have a hard time strategizing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because it's like to them, all 20 of those songs are number ones, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so you got to humble yourself and be like, all right, that's probably the first song of this whole battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't wait to see what DMX plays to Snoop's 187. You know he's going to drop it. I'm calling it like first 2 or 3 songs.
You think Snoop is going to drop 187 in the first 2 songs?
I think you're giving him too much credit and they're going too deep. Like I think he's going to keep it very surface.
You think he's going to play more? I guess you can call it his quote unquote like biggest hit pop, records.
Yeah, I think he keeps it street.
I don't know. I think he's going to get DMX. I think he's got to play.
That's where it comes. That's where the strategy comes through. Right?
Yeah.
How does DMX?
But you can say DMX's tracks with Aaliyah were pop and R&B.
Yeah, absolutely. Shit, you know what I mean. Even the one with Cisco.
Tell me
what these bitches want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling people. I put this on my stream last night. I said DMX versus Snoop. Who y'all got? And we had a conversation. And I think the easy, quick, obvious response is Snoop, right? Because Snoop is just he got one. His career was a lot longer than DMX's, right? He had the longevity.
Maybe a few years, right?
Nah.
Snoop put out an album
been rapping since '93.
My nigga put out a reggae album last year.
No,
bro.
I mean, I'm not saying longevity wise. I know obviously on the latter end.
Just meaning consistency.
From what, 98 to what, 2010? They both were still.
Snoop was putting shit out in 93, 94? Yeah. 93. Yeah, Snoop got...
Chronic came out in 93, I think.
Snoop, that's what I'm saying. Snoop shit is, his that catalog is...
Fam, what are you doing to Doggy Style and Gin and Juice? Like, what is DMX countering that? Does he just take the L?
No, I don't know, man. Listen, I'm telling you.
Up in Here?
What's
no.
I mean...
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's bigger than Up in Here and like there's one other... the Rough Rider Anthem. Like, what's bigger than those two numbers wise?
I mean, you got Where My Dog's At. You got X Gonna Give It To You.
But are you gonna play X Gonna Give It To You versus Gin and Juice? That's what I'm saying.
You could.
What's that joint?
Listen. All I'm saying is, I think Snoop is gonna win.
He should.
I just don't think it's going to be as easy as people may think it's going to be.
I don't know, man.
I think
it gets complicated when you have a long list of songs to pull from.
I agree,
Fabulous.
and I think that's the same issue that Fab ran into with Jadakiss, right? Fab didn't play his game. He played Jada's game. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna beat Jada at his game. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna beat him at that street shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think as soon as Snoop starts knocking him over the head with the more popish tracks, it's going to be curtains for DMX. You know what I'm saying? I think DMX got a strong 10 or 12 tracks. The first round is going to be solid. And after that 12, 13, that's when you're going to see DMX is back against the ropes. And he's like this, curled up, and Snoop is just going to give it to him.
To me, I think... Oh, X going to give it to him. I think what makes it interesting for me on DMX's behalf is he had 2 albums go number 1 in 1 year. Snoop only had Doggy Style go... I mean, The Dogfather may have went number 1 after that. Maybe there was another one, but Doggy Style is the album, right? So I think whatever X is going to pull outside of some features, and he does have some nice features, whatever he's going to pull is going to come from those 2 albums. Like the 4-3-2-1 feature, like you can probably put that up with any street Snoop song.
Yo, his
you know what I mean? Yeah, like he has some of those features with LL and J that are like street and Cam, but they were still like on a major hip hop scale.
Bro, his verse on Money Cash Hoes was fucking stupid. Like, and I think that's what's going to hold DMX in this battle it's his features, like you were saying. You know what I'm saying? But
Snoop got a lot of features.
Snoop got a lot of.
He's just got too much to choose from, and that might work against him.
Yeah, his catalog is just is too long. Pause. Yeah, I do it just to cover myself. Like cover all bases. You know what I'm saying?
You know, this is the issue with pausing. You have to explain yourself, and now I got to explain the fact that we're explaining ourselves. What are you looking up? You're looking up a list right now.
I was looking up the DMX list.
Yeah, I saw that list, and I was like, not against Snoop.
Listen, like, DMX gonna say.
I'd rather see that against 50. DMX versus Snoop.
I think DMX versus 50 would have been really good.
That would have been.
I think that would have been really good.
I would have rather seen 50 versus Snoop.
Nah. Same reason.
Same reason
as DMX for me. He's got a lot of street songs that won't match up well.
Like club joints enough.
50?
Like, yeah.
No.
I mean, but then you gotta think about it. He plays Disco Inferno. He plays Little Bit. He plays Candy Shop. He plays
to love it.
But are you gonna play those in a battle when someone's throwing street bars at you?
Well, who's throwing street bars?
I'm saying if it's DMX.
But what I'm saying is, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
but
you
what I'm
go
saying
to
is
the mixtape shit and the Many Men and fucking,
you're in a mixtape. That niggas, what? All the G Unit shit. Oh man, listen, I don't know, man. Listen,
it's not stunt 101. Like,
Snoop still beats 50 Cent.
Oh, no.
But I don't know if he beats
In the Club.
Yeah. That, but okay, Gin and Juice versus In the Club.
No disrespect. I'm sorry. This is not to my
next episode. I think it would be next episode versus In the Club.
In the Club.
That makes more sense. But if I'm giving you my hottest tracks,
Shorty, it's your birthday.
You said Gin and Juice or
Gin and Juice would be against Wankster, I think, more so. You know what I'm saying?
But if I'm Snoop and I'm planning for track 20 and I'm saving Gin and Juice for 20 and 50's saving In the Club for 20.
In the Club.
I mean, again, we got to understand that the rules of the battle are hits. Right,
and it all comes down to who's playing, who's dropping first.
Right, if you go all the way overseas in the middle of fucking nowhere, and then you give them two songs, you give them Gin and Juice and In the Club. Which one you think they're gonna recognize off rip?
And that's why 50 wouldn't beat Snoop.
What?
That's why 50 Cent wouldn't beat Snoop. Because Snoop has way more hits.
You've seen that video of DMX.
Way more hits. If we're talking about overseas, especially overseas, Snoop is bigger internationally than 50 Cent, in my opinion.
I think that's true. I think that's
again
true.
Yeah.
But
those two tracks is what I'm saying. It's Gin and Juice and In the Club. Mm-hmm. You think more people would know Gin and Juice than In the Club?
It's arguable. I'm not.
It depends which part of. Where are you going, to the right of the sea or the?
Okay, now we're getting. It's getting
I think. Yeah, no. I mean, look, West Coast hip hop in Europe is just like.
It's God.
Trust me. I'm
pretty sure Tupac is still a top 10 stream artist in Europe.
I am not arguing that whatsoever. Like, we know that we've been out there. All I'm saying, we're talking about In the Club.
No, agreed.
50 Cent's In the Club. Not anything else that man's put out. I'm talking about 50 Cent's In the Club.
Okay, let's say he gets that round. Yeah. What is he at?
Let's get past that round.
20, right? That's number 20.
Okay, that's 20. But every round before that, Snoop's got the upper hand, I think. Now it depends.
Against 50 Cent, I don't know,
If 50 Cent starts the first 10 rounds, we'll drop him whatever he wants. All right, now we got an argument.
Not on the notes.
Right.
But if Snoop gets the last 10, he's going to get that.
All I'm saying is I agree. You're right that the Snoop and 50 would have made more sense than the Snoop and DMX. Or 50 and DMX. As much as I would love to see
y'all gonna be
50 and DMX.
Surprised. I think we're going to
I think DMX will do great. But like when you think about it, like Slippin' is like probably like one of the best hip-hop records of all time, arguably. But like, is it a battle record? I mean, it just depends who's like, what's your view? Or Damien, or you know what I mean? Like the cuts.
Yeah, man.
Which had an impact.
Again.
Were you out in the streets when
who said it in the chat? If he plays the skits, he wins.
If you play the prayers, dog.
That's what I'm saying.
Joe said he did the Rudolph Reindeer train. It's over.
Track 20. Rudolph the Reindeer.
Man,
sorry, Gin and Juice.
Like, come on, Snoop. You got Christmas songs.
I'm sure he did. Yeah, Santa Claus going back to the ghetto. Come on, Death Row put out a whole Christmas album. Snoop's got every base covered. I'm telling you,
he put out a fucking reggae album, bro.
And a gospel album.
And a what?
And a gospel album.
Yeah,
it did really well too.
And it did really well. It was like the #1 gospel album for a bit.
And he's got Girls Gone Wild on the tuck. All right, so we're about to get out of here. Next globalization.
Sensual seduction. I'm sorry. That's just
sensual seduction.
He
can go there, but he doesn't have to.
Yo.
Nah, he sensual seduction.
That's the record.
Come on.
I'm gonna take.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna get DMX. He's gonna get DMX.
Yeah.
I get him. I know that. He's gonna give him. It ain't going that first round. He might feel a couple of punches, but
man, I would have loved to see DMX versus 50. Would have loved that. Two New York heavyweights.
Man, I'm mad we not getting T.I. versus 50.
Yeah, that could have been interesting.
It could have been.
So moving on, globalization. Our next DJ is
Leslie.
Ease.
No,
we just had Ease. Leslie.
Yep.
Leslie's up next. San Fernando Valley's finest, of course.
You know.
And yeah. So if you guys missed the live stream, the live mix on Pitbull's Globalization, Channel 13, Sirius XM.
Tuesday nights at 8 p.m.
Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. You can catch it on Mixcloud, our MikiDz Show.
Yes, sir.
at
Page.
MikiDz.
At MikiDz. And yeah, that's it for us. Yeah, we out.
We out. Deuces.
Peace.